Hi guys, this is Mrs. Lyons. Today's video is on naming and writing formulas for covalent compounds. Okay, the covalent compounds that we are going to name and write formulas for will only contain two types of elements, so two nonmetals. And the thing that's different about covalent compounds, because covalent compounds don't have charges, the names are going to include prefixes. Okay, so we're going to put a prefix before the name of the element to tell how many of that type of atom there are. The prefixes that we will be using are here. One is mono. We only use mono if there's one of the second atom. If there's one of the first atom, we do not use mono. 2 is di, 3 tri, 4 tetra, 5 penta, 6 hexa, 7 hepta, 8 octa, 9 nona. Now, if you can't remember those or you don't memorize well, there are a list of these on the back of your periodic table. So here's how we name. Okay, the thing that we're going to do is we're going to write down the prefix for the first element, followed by the element name. If there's only one atom, we don't include mono, so there's no prefix. Then we write down the prefix for the second element, followed by that element name. Just like in ionic bonding, we change the ending to IDE. So let's take a look at how we do this. So here we have CH4. That's 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen. So remember I said when there's only one of the first element, we do not use the prefix mono. So we're just going to write down the element name, carbon. And then we have 4 hydrogen, so this is going to be carbon. 4 is tetra. Hydrogen, we got to change the ending to IDE, so hydride. Instead of hydrogen, it's going to be tetrahydride. Second example, N2O3. So we've got 2 nitrogens, 3 oxygens. The prefix for 2 is di. So we're going to write di-nitrogen. Tells us we have 2 nitrogens. 3 is tri. Oxygen, but we change the ending to IDE, so oxide. Dinitrogen trioxide. Last example, C2H6. So 2 carbons, 6 hydrogens. Again, the prefix for 2 is di. So in this case, we've got dicarbon, and we've got 6 hydrogens. Prefix for 6 is hexa, so hexahydride. Okay, so naming is pretty straightforward as long as you look at the subscript to determine what the prefix needs to be. Now, if we want to write formulas, we're just doing the reverse. So we're going to look at the element formula, the compound formula. We're going to write the symbol for the first element, and then we're going to follow it by the subscript. And we determine the subscript by looking at the prefix. Okay? And then we do the exact same thing for the second element. So let's look at some examples. Phosphorus trifluoride. Notice that there's no prefix in front of phosphorus. That should give us a clue that there's only one phosphorus. Phosphorus is P. Trifluoride, so we know that fluoride is fluorine, so that's F. The tri tells us that there are 3 of them, so our formula is PF3. Tricarbon octahydride. So we've got carbon. Prefix tri tells us there are 3 of them. And then octahydride. Hydride is hydrogen. Octa is 8. So we have C3H8, tricarbon octahydride. Finally, dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen, so that tells us we've got H, 2. Notice we do put the prefix mono on the second element. So we've got mono, so we've got one of something. What do we have one of? Oxide, which is oxygen. So H2O. So water, our technical name is dihydrogen monoxide. Alright, that's it for naming and formula writing of covalent compounds. Pretty straightforward. I will see you in class.